Hi, I'm here today with John Tate. He's one of the dads that actually played the game and ordered the game for his daughter Hazel for her 6th birthday. So we're just here to get some of his feedback and thoughts on how that went for him and his daughter. So thanks, John.
Hey.
Hey. So can you just kind of give us a rundown of how you thought the day went for your girls? I know you had two girls were playing, and just you were actively involved in the gameplay and saw the kids, and I just curious what your thoughts were, what your favorite parts were, what you thought the kids favorite parts were, and then any other feedback you have for us, that would be great.
Sure. Well, firstly, it was a beautiful day in Shoot Park, and so the location to be having a playing with a game and then doing that in the outdoors was actually like a really cool and fun thing to do. I mean, the kids loved it. It was very cool. So the idea of like getting on a device, playing a game, and then the physical interaction of running around the park and like looking for clues and finding the clues on the game and then looking for the sort of prizes as you went around. That was just, the kids were really enjoying that. And then the game is like, it's kind of pretty intuitive, and our 9-year-old especially was having a ton of fun, like experimenting on, with the game and wanting to go deeper and deeper into it. There was, there's quite a lot of sort of cognitive stuff in there without you realizing it. They kind of, the sort of problem solving that was involved with that was interesting, figuring the clues out and what they meant. And also because obviously my two daughters were there, but there were, I don't know how many we had in the end, there was probably about 7 or 8 kids. They then started to figure out that they needed to work together on some of the stuff and learn from each other. So that was good. It was also just very relaxed. Like it was it was just play the game, then run around, then play the game, then run around. But they could kind of go at their own pace in that, which was good. Those that were going faster on the game had to sort of exercise some patience. So if you're doing it on your own, I think it's one thing. If you're doing it as part of a bigger group, there's a different dynamic going on. So that was good for them all to be kind of part of that. And then the other thing I loved was right at the end, there was, just a final message, which was, actually a bit deeper and a good learning moment for the kids, because I think they were like fixated on one thing and then realised it was something else, and so they got it right, and so that was very cool. So overall, it was like very interactive, a lot of fun, kids running around the park and playing on devices. I mean, what's not to love? And unicorns. So it's great.
Did your daughters have any additional feedback? Would they want to play it again with their other friends in the park, or?
I think so. I think my 9-year-old would just be all over that. If I was to kind of say, "There's the phone, got an hour, go and hang out, and take a couple of friends," they would love that.
That's what I was wondering. Great. And then I guess as a dad, did you feel a connection with your girls playing that you wouldn't normally feel playing a video game with your kids, or how did you feel about that?
So with my 9-year-old, she's pretty independent. So she could just kind of get on with it. With the 6-year-old, it was interesting because for her, she was coming into this fairly sort of fresh and is still learning about kind of gameplay and how to even just sort of manipulate the controls. And so what was nice was sort of recognizing her moments of challenge and frustration with that, and being able to help her sort of work through it in a way that was ultimately a positive experience for her on her birthday. So that was cool.
Okay, good. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, I thought she was having a nice time interacting, figuring out the clues, because there's a lot of, it's not just on the phone, it's a lot of coming out and socializing and figuring out what to do with your friends and collaborating and getting folks all on the same page.
Well, the clues sometimes need some thinking through, and so you need to talk to each other to kind of establish the meaning of the clue. It's fun watching the sort of collective pennies drop amongst the group as they're sort of talking it through, and then it all makes sense.
Yeah. I really actually enjoy watching the kids work together to figure things out, and I love the look on their face when they figure it out.
Right.
It's just, a growth moment that you get to, be a part of, and I think it's pretty special.
Yeah, we figured it out.
Yeah, and that they can do this and work through it with their friends. And then I guess my final question would be, would you recommend this to another friend or a set of friends, or what would you think about that?
Yeah, I totally recommend it. I'd recommend it to probably first grade through to, I don't know, maybe fourth, fifth grade, something like that. I think as it continues to develop and, the breadth of characters and experiences grow, it's going to appeal to just more and more kids. But just the idea of, an educational, fun game which takes you outside and means you can do something with the product and be running around outside. I mean, what's not to love? It's a great combination.
Okay, great. Thanks so much, John. Appreciate it.